This is Relationship Talks with Rick and Namon. I'm Rick.
And I am the DJ Blue.
And he's Namon.
I'm still the DJ Blue. Even more now.
Even more now?
Even more now. DJ Blue times 2.
So we
times 2.5.
How
2
can you,
3/4.
How can you be more DJ Blue than DJ Blue?
I don't know. I didn't think of it like that. I'm double twice. Twice.
Are you telling us you gain weight? Is that what it is?
Wow.
I'm just saying.
That's you come back. You come in with this type of energy already. You come in with this type of energy talking about my weight.
I'm
talking about my weight.
I just want to know.
What is that behind you, by the way?
What you mean?
Odyssey women.
Odyssey.
You reading books of how to get women?
No, it's a one picture is the Odyssey, the classic book about Odysseus. And the other book is a black photography book.
You know, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let you get started. But I don't like the fact that you set your system up behind you to make it look like you always busy. You got books and stuff like that, like you read. You got a chalkboard with stuff written up there, fake equations. Man, get out of here with that.
I'm probably gonna have to take a picture of this so everybody knows what the heck you're talking about. But hey, man, it's been a little bit since we recorded. What's new?
Been a long time. What's new with me? Man, what's not new? To be quite honest with you, in real world, man, I would say, just still grinding, still hustling. I haven't really been eating brisket as much as I used to. I don't know. What's new with you? There's nothing enough about me. I'm DJ Blue. You already know who I is.
It's not too much new to me. Still hustling, still doing the things that I do. I started a new podcast aside from this podcast called Still Talking Black. And that's,
whoa.
That's kind of.
You said you did what?
I have another podcast.
Hold on. So you in a conversation with our best friends to have another podcast that I'm not even involved in.
No, I mean, you did the music, so yeah, you kind of involved.
I don't think I did. I don't remember. I didn't sign anything. I didn't get paid. I didn't get no royalties. I didn't get no royalties.
I shout you out at the end of every episode saying that the music is by the DJ Blue. I don't even say name. See?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to listen because this seemed like a lawyer conversation here.
Hey, you see how much support I get from you. You don't even listen. You don't even hear your shout out. So you tell
when
me
I hear the music, I stop listening.
Oh, okay, that's the beginning. It starts out with music.
I'm like, whoever made this is amazing. I have to go cry and thank the Lord for him.
So I just wanted to jump in. It's a lot that we still had left to talk about. So we had to come back and talk about those things that we still have left to talk about.
Yeah, I know it's a lot. I said that. I mean, I got tired at first, but you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a lot that needs to be said.
Still, you got a lot to get off your chest, cuz.
Man, I don't, but I can. But every day is a different day, so there's always something changing the game, something changing the show, a new episode, if you will.
There it is, man. So, a lot of things have changed. One big thing is that I'm in love, man.
You are? Whoa. You gonna start off the whole.
Let's start.
Why you just couldn't save that for the end of the show?
Let's just start out high. Let's start out high.
Man, why you just couldn't save that for the end of the show?
Have you ever been in love, Namon?
Absolutely. I think I'm in love too.
Hey, look at that. Our fortunes have changed.
You supposed to be saving this for the last episode of forever, man. We can't be squeezing these things out.
We gotta come in hot. We've been gone for too long, man. We gotta let the people know what's up.
You gotta squeeze these things out before you just rip into it talking about the L word. And I'm not talking about liver spots. I'm talking about Because people be getting liver spots as well. We don't condone liver spots, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
don't know how you control liver spots, but
our fans who still listening, we do not condone liver spots.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, I guess that's a thing.
Public service announcement.
All right,
I'm gonna have to look up liver spots to see if that's something you can.
If you could just get it. Oh,
right. I don't know, man.
So so it's just a lot of growth that happened. The person that I'm really in love with is myself, and I think that
whoa, whoa, that's pretty aggressive. Don't talk about yourself in that way.
So the person that I'm really in love with is myself, and I learned a lot over all of the different relationships that I've been in. And one of the things is how to tell the difference between love, lust, like, and infatuation.
Hold on. Are you talking about these are still with yourself?
No, this is just in general. I don't think can you lust after yourself? You can like yourself.
Can you lust after yourself? I think that's a personal question, Richard. I think you just started off. I'm in love with myself, lust, like, and dedication. You take yourself out to eat.
I mean, you got to feed yourself every day, right?
What's the perfect date? What's the perfect date with Richard? Because, like you said, this is you in love with yourself. That's a big statement.
It is.
What's the perfect date with Richard? What do you do on your perfect date?
So, see, I'm really trying to work on self-care right now, and probably a perfect day for me is a day where I really don't touch anything work-related.
So, question:
What?
When you go out on dates with yourself, do you? Who opens the door and who pays the bill? That's the question.
I mean, I open the door and pay the bill. It's either me or myself. Like, we take turns.
One or the other.
Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's myself.
Sometimes when I go out and I take myself out on dates, I don't pay for anything.
That sounds like stealing, and we don't condone that.
Sometimes when I go to people's houses, I don't pay for anything. I leave with everything.
That sounds like stealing as well, and I think I should call the authorities.
It sounds like it would be. Call them, and I'm gonna snitch on you too.
What's the snitch on?
You obviously sexually harassed yourself talking about lust. You obviously, that sounds like borderline sexual harassment. If I'm not mistaken.
No,
I think anybody listening, you just said that. You said something about being in love with yourself, but you said lust.
How? No, I said you can tell now. How do you tell the difference between love, lust, like, and infatuation? That's what I said.
Between yourself?
No, when in any kind of relationship, sir.
I mean, love. Okay, so what was the list? Let's start with the first one.
All right, so love. How can you tell the difference between love and lust?
Mm-hmm. So love, it. I mean, honestly, love. In some cases, you will feel it in your loins, but I mean, in lust, you would most certainly feel in your loins.
It's mostly your loins.
Loins, man. Loins is a funny word.
It is kind
of. But I think that love is a deeper feeling. It's a deeper thing, and I think that while love is invisible, you can certainly feel it. It's a vibe, it's that vibe. It's a certain vibration, I would say, that you can give off where other people will feel that love. And then the lust, it's the same concept. It's a certain vibration you can give off. In most cases, it's a physical vibration. Sometimes you tapping on somebody's shoulder and saying, hey, you fine.
That's what it is.
And you got a big behind. No, I'm just saying. It's a feeling, and I think that you can kind of tell with love. I would say the difference is it's a sweeter, selfish, not selfish, selfless. Mm-hmm. It's a sweeter, selfless vibe. You know what I mean? Because you love that person, you want them to be happy, you want them to be successful, you want them to feel the best, mm-hmm. right? And then lust is just the opposite. It's kind of selfish. I'm not gonna even lie, because you want to pleasure, that you want to feed that monster, that pleasure monster. Which, I mean, monster doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. A lot of people got little monsters in them, but
I wish y'all could see. I really wish y'all could see the face he just made when he said that.
A lot of us do.
I think a lot of the difference between love and lust has to do with focus. You can be in a relationship that's based on love, and you can be in a relationship based on lust. And I think 100%. Lust, a lot of times, if you're in a lustful relationship, it's all about that physical. It's all about finding that physical pleasure. Like, you really know, I feel like you really know that you love someone when you can take all of the physical attributes out and just sit with that person, spend time with them, and still be super happy. Because sometimes you know you in a relationship, two people be in a relationship, and if they not getting freaky, then it ain't no reason for them to hang out.
You say freaky? Is
freaky? Yeah, I mean,
is that
freaky.
the definition of terminology we using?
That's what that's what I'm using. You know what I'm saying? Freaky. But so how about like? Well, how can you tell the difference between love and like?
Love and like. Because
some people
that's the same thing.
Because some people think that like is love, and I've heard people say that like is stronger than love, and I was like, ooh, you ain't never been in love, then have you?
110%. Because, and this is gonna sound like a surprise to you, Richard, but I'm a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to food, right? Different flavors, different things like that, right? So when I tell you I like something, I mean I like it. I'll eat it occasionally. I wouldn't mind having it. It's just the basis of like. But if I tell you I love something, that means that Monday, I'm eating it. Tuesday, I can eat it. Thursday, I said Thursday because I do it thrice. I can eat it all week. That's because I love it. I feel it. I want it. I want it inside my belly.
Okay.
That's passion. That's
I feel you. No, I mean the way that you got up on the mic. I don't know. I ain't judging.
The way you was out there earlier, the way you was talking about yourself. Do not judge me. All right.
No judgment zone.
All right. But yeah, that's just it. It's totally different. And like, it's like, hey, I like it, but it's not something that I absolutely have to have.
Yeah.
I like it. I can tolerate it. I think like is toleration, if you will. I think that's a form to say, I tolerate this. I tolerate you a lot. But if you left, I'd be cool with it, essentially.
So I mean, I feel like you're saying like love and like have a lot of attributes that are similar. Like you can live or be good without like, but love is something that you want to pursue constantly.
Exactly.
I mean, you might pursue like too, but you might pursue like too, but not to the levels that you would pursue love.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even think you would pursue like, because like is just there. Like is just I like trees. I like snow, but I don't love it. That's for daggone sure. You know what I mean? Like is just there. I like driving. Do I love it? Absolutely not.
But how do you get? But I mean, it is a process. Like can be. I mean, I guess sometimes our lust can be a stop on a road to love. I mean, but like it's definitely like a road stop because you don't love somebody right away most times.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you don't like somebody, it's impossible to lust or love them. Like, so in this situation, it's like you have to have like, I feel like is there.
Like is
like has to be there. Like the like has to be the beginning. If there's no like is the inception, if you will, the inception of the thought. Like begins love or lust, in my opinion, I would say.
Yeah, but you can love somebody and not like them.
It's a stretch. So it's a huge stretch.
I feel like the last one that we talked about is the harder one to tell the difference between an infatuation. Infatuation, you have to get something all the time. You want to be around it. It's almost like a dependency.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times love can look like infatuation. I think the thing that kind of divides infatuation and love is time and consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think time and consistency are really the big things that divide love and infatuation.
Yeah.
Like
love, you spend a lot more time and consistency on love
than you do
well, honestly, no, I'm gonna take that back. You spend a lot more on like time and what is it? What did you say? What was the other word?
Time
consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
With infatuation than you would with love, but I think being infatuated with anything or too much is obviously going to be unhealthy anyway.
Yeah.
So it automatically, I don't know why, but infatuation sounds negative to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be an unhealthy thing. Like when you infatuate with something, you can't let it go.
Right. For whatever reason, it's just you're just stuck.
It's
You
just,
stuck lusting, you're stuck loving, you're stuck liking, you're infatuated. That's crazy. That's a concept.
I feel like in my lifetime of dating that I have experienced every spectrum of it. Like I feel like I've been infatuated. I feel like I've been in lust and like, and definitely in love. And they're not always easy to distinguish in that moment.
Right. Oh, not at all.
And I feel like it's time.
I love seafood, but occasionally I don't. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure.
I'm just saying, man. I love drinks, but occasionally I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I just like them.
I know you love ice cream, but sometimes ice cream don't love you back.
Oh, see, okay. Now we was having a good day. We were having a good day today, Rick. We was having a good day, weren't we?
We are. We still are.
We was having a good day. I didn't threaten you. I didn't have anything bad to say to you. we was having a real.
Is
good
that
day.
a prerequisite? I'm having a good day. That's not normal. You should.
I'm foreshadowing the next few minutes here. I'm trying to let you know we was having a good day.
Now it's gonna turn. Now it's war.
Nah, it's bad news for you and your nappy head. That's what it's bad news for. Well, see, got really, really aggressive right there.
Dang.
You looked. You was like, wait, can he see my hair? Get out of here. You're so predictable.
You're so stupid, man.
See, you're a silly goose, Rick.
But you know, I feel like it's times in my life where I've thought that I was in love. And I really was like maybe infatuated and maybe in an unhealthy situation, chasing something that I shouldn't chase, or I was just or I was lusting after someone. I thought that they looked really good, but their personality might not have been that. And I wasn't really in love, but I thought it was love. So has there ever been a time where you felt like you were in love, but then when you look back later on, you realize that that wasn't love, it was something else?
So yeah, I would say I've never necessarily been in a situation where I felt like I was in love and didn't recognize it. I mean, I've had situations where, you know, I definitely love the person and it's easy for me to love anybody. I love everybody. That's just my style. And I have different levels of love for the people that I love. And I always tell anybody, I say my mom, she gave me something that was like a gift, and it was love. So it was unconditional. So I'm able to give that unconditionally however I please without feeling, you know, depleted. So with that being said, I'm able to look at the love that I have for someone and to see the different feelings that I would have and the different love that I would have for somebody, like your coworkers. Like, of course, you love them. You got love for them, blah, 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 blah. But that's where that ends. And then you have your close friends. You really love them. That's a celebration every time you see them. And then you have your family members. You love them. And you have your girl or your man. You know what I mean? You love them the way you love them. So it's just being able to decipher those different types of love. You'll never get stuck thinking that you're in love with someone that you're not necessarily even in love with, that you're infatuated with.
I think there's definitely been times where I thought I was in love and it wasn't necessarily love. Now that doesn't mean that I didn't have love for that person, but I thought that I was in love with that person. And a lot of times it was something else. Like maybe it was infatuation. Maybe it was just a strong like.
You started thinking like maybe it was just because she had really big buns.
No, that's not what I was saying.
You've been in a couple of little situations.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We've been in a couple of situations.
Why you get a microphone and you start making stuff up.
Making stuff up, whatever, man. Look,
moving right along. But no, so it's been many times where you've been in, like, I've been in situations where it's like, oh yeah, I know I'm in love. This is it. And then I look back on it, and it's like, what was I thinking? That wasn't healthy. That wasn't the right thing.
Right.
Like, and it's so many different things that it could be. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like we are pretty much the same. Like, you have love for everybody. And loving everybody is great. But when you're talking about relationships, you can love that person and not be in love with that person.
Oh, 110%.
So, yeah. So I feel like it's definitely been plenty of times. I wouldn't say plenty. But
see what I'm saying? Get a little thinky.
But I say at least a couple times that I've thought that I was in love, but I really wasn't in love when I look back in retrospect. I was really kind of like, man, I was tripping over this, and this is not even what I should have been tripping over.
You were insane.
I was insane.
You were in a situation.
Right? I've been in situationships for sure.
Yeah, you were in a situationship. But I like to say, looking back on your past failed relationship.
Oh, we just talk about my relationship. We just use that as a reference. Looking back on your relationships.
Since we're talking about your past failed relationships.
So the reason I wanted to start out saying that I was in love and the person that I'm in love with is myself is just because
you're a weirdo.
No, that's not why. The important thing about before you can love anybody else, I feel like you need to be in a place where you love yourself and you're happy with yourself.
Yes, queen. Yes.
I was thinking.
Preach it.
So as I was going through everything before we started the episode, I started thinking about all the different reasons why I have pursued relationships or been in relationships previously when I wasn't in a place where I was like necessarily loving myself. And sometimes you're looking for love or you're trying to find someone because you're trying to fill an empty void. Like it's something in your life and you're trying to fill that void with the person. And it might not even be companionship that you're necessarily looking for, but you're trying to find somebody to fill in that place. So you don't either, one, have to deal with that void, or two, just to temporarily fill that void. Because if it's not the thing that'll fill the actual void, then it's only going to be a temporary fix.
So my take on that is pretty simple, because I believe that for me personally, I say I'm going to give you whatever you give me.
Yeah.
Like if you give me 100% of love, like if it's just love, there's no reason for me not to give that back to you.
Right.
Because I want to give you exactly what you've given me. Right.
Right.
So I believe that people who do go into those relationships, who are giving somebody that love, seeking that love, they end up in a worse situation that they were in before they got there. Because now, not only are you giving that away, now you're giving that to someone who does not know the quality, who does not know the rate, the value. Mm-hmm. They have no idea what that love means. So they cannot therefore give you that because they don't even know what you're doing. Yeah, because you just infatuated. You know, this is simple. This is like, this love is definitely reciprocated. If it's supposed to be. If that person knows you love them and they love you too, it'll be reciprocated, and there won't be any doubts about it.
Yeah, it's definitely different when you have somebody who calls you over when they're bored. It's a big difference between having someone want to see you regardless of what they're doing, and hey, like I have a void to fill. Like, hey, what you doing? I'm really bored. Like, why don't you come over and let's hang out?
Yeah, just a user.
It's a big thing. Yeah. Another thing that I thought about is like when you're dating, you're looking for somebody because you're lonely, and that's the reason you're trying to find somebody specifically. Because you're lonely, it's like I'm alone. I just want a companion.
Some of these chicks just be picking saps though. They be picking somebody they could just call. Like they'll text a dude and be like, "Hey, what you doing?" And then he'll be like, he'll say something like nothing, and then they'll be like, "Well, I'm hungry. What should we do about it?" You know, like just stop using these young men. I mean, stop using them.
Men and women do the same thing.
Yeah, stop using these women as well.
And it's not anything wrong trying to find companionship because that's what a relationship is. But if that's the only reason that you're looking for someone, and because like I feel like you'd be disappointed because when you get into a relationship, there's no way for you to be in a real healthy relationship that both of you want change. You know what I mean? You both should be growing from each other. You both should be learning from each other. You both should be evolving together, and it shouldn't just be like if you just want somebody, if you lonely and all you want is a companion in that sense, and you don't expect your life to change, you might as well go get a dog.
Play The Sims.
I was gonna say get a dog, get a dog or a cat.
Get you a sim character.
Yeah, just something that's not gonna change your life, and because I mean, like a lot of people expect their lives to remain exactly the same, and they get somebody, and it never works like that.
It never does, and you end up just, I would say, more empty than you were before, because before you're seeking it, you got a lot of love to give, but once you give that up and it's not reciprocated, you empty.
Yeah,
you're so empty, and until you find that way to break through that hole and maybe get you someone who can replenish that, you're just gonna be in a hole. It's just gonna be a huge hole. But that's what's important, I would say, when you're going through relationships. Having family members and loved ones around you who can refill those things, because that's what their job is. You do that to them, so they're going to do that to you. So That's you need relatives, you need family, you need people around you that you can have that replenishment with as well.
Yeah, I definitely think that there are certain things inside of you when we talk about being lonely or we talk about having a void and looking for somebody to fill. It's definitely places in you and things in you that you have to fill on your own.
Right.
You have to be able to fill yourself on your own to a certain extent, and you can't go looking for somebody thinking that that person is going to come in and fill you in all the places that you need to be filled
and give you what you're looking for without even knowing
exactly
what you like. You don't even know what you're looking for, and they're supposed to give it to you. Like,
yeah,
that's
you can't verbalize
concept.
it, but yeah, exactly. And sometimes I'm guilty of that. You feel like just because you understand what you need, that your partner is supposed to understand exactly what you need without verbalizing it. So I try to make sure that I'm really verbal in any kind of relationship, whether you're talking about a romantic relationship or even a friendship. You can't expect someone to know exactly what's going to be on your mind 24/7. So
yeah, I would say based on what you're saying, for me, you helped me figure something out too. A while back, we were talking about something with work or something like that, and one of the words we were talking about, I guess it was just surrounded, was perspective.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Just having that perspective, and honestly, that can work. That can work in so many different ways, because once you open up your mind and you if you're in the business aspect and you see your perspective from their view, from corporate, you can kind of understand like why you're dealing with that. And it's the same thing I would say with relationships. If you can for a moment just take your perspective, change it to their perspective, see how they're looking at you, see how you would look at yourself if you were in their shoes.
Right.
I guarantee every time, for me, doing that and taking that time to look at that perspective, it changes my view, because I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I'm acting pretty goofy right now. Maybe I should have got kicked out of this, Sizzler right now. You know what I mean? Like, what if maybe I should have got kicked out of the Sizzler tonight. I was acting pretty crazy. You know what I mean? But other than saying, well, what's wrong with me? There's something wrong with me. This person doesn't love me. There must be something wrong with them as well. Crap like that.
I think that's a great point. You might not always agree with somebody else's perspective, but understanding it from their point of view, you can kind of get to understand why they're acting, why they might be responding to you a certain way, because it's like you don't always, sometimes you're so caught up on your perspective, you don't see what you could possibly be doing to somebody else.
Exactly. And I think people are also afraid. In most cases, pride is a big issue, because I think people are afraid of losing by seeing somebody else's way, or seeing, from another perspective. I think that's a fear of losing your own perspective by doing that, because it's like, well, if I see it that way, that means that they're winning and they're right. No, it's more or less like you just taking a second look to say, is this relationship going to be good for me? Is this move going to be good for me if I do this? And what are they going to do? From their perspective, how are they going to feel if I show up at 3 a.m. with a bucket of chicken? I'm trying to build this scenario here.
I don't even know where you're going with this. 3 a.m. with a bucket of chicken. I mean, there you go. That's enough.
I'm cool with it. Look, we good. We look, whatever the issue was, we cool.
Just to go back to the other two, the last two that's on the list, it's just being with someone because they want to be with you. A lot of times people, like, I know I've fallen into relationships because somebody like me and I might not like them the same way, but since they like me and they cool, I will fall into a relationship with them. And the last one is when you're already in a relationship, kind of staying with someone that that's wrong for you. Yeah. And so going over the last, the dating period, the last year in between, even between this episode, it's been a year since the last episode and this episode, and roughly a year. And, just dating in between there, is even lessons that I had learned and stuff that I knew, you get caught up sometimes and you're looking for somebody for the wrong reason. And I remember us having a conversation, actually. You were saying something like, you're going to get to a point where you just good. And then that's when you're going to find that person. Yep. And then for sure, I got to a point where I wasn't trying to date. I was good. I wasn't trying to be with anybody. And then that's when I found.
Because I think what happened with you is the same thing that happened with me, is you stop worrying about it. You stop worrying about like seeking something, trying to find something. And the thing is, it's like we are supposed to be on whatever path we're going on. Like whatever we're doing right now, it's already been done. It's already written.
Right.
So it's important for us to focus on the positive things we have in our lives and focus on, the things that are going to propel us forward. And that's what you did. You focus on things now, and now look at you. You're successful. You have the things that you have the things that you were talking about at those times. Those failed relationships, they're falling off. They falling off of your record now. You know what I mean? So
I think the thing was my focus was different in this new relationship. Yeah. I wasn't looking to fill any voids. I wasn't looking for somebody because I was lonely. I was good. I felt healed.
Because you're in love with yourself.
I had went through things, and it's like
you were lusting after yourself.
I appreciated myself, and I didn't need somebody to validate that.
Boom.
I didn't need somebody to validate me. And I was at a point where it's like I'm good. And then when I met the person that I'm in love with now, it wasn't
yourself.
The person that's not myself that I'm in love with now. It wasn't me trying to find anything. It was kind of like I found this person and I love this person.
Right.
And this is a person that we push each other to be better. We do things. It's just that partnership, and that wouldn't have been possible if I wasn't whole in myself. If I wasn't healed, if I was looking for somebody to make me whole or somebody to heal me, then when I got into the situation, I wouldn't have looked at it in the same perspective, because your own perspective can change. I would have been looking at it a different thing. In a way that we both approached this relationship when we first got together was we really just spent time trying to get to know each other. And when you're really looking for certain things, sometimes you have a tendency to rush getting to know someone and just paint an idea of what you think who this person might be, and then just fall in love with that idea and just be done there. But we took our time to make sure that we knew each other and spent time with each other, and it was different than any other thing that I thought. And this was like the first time where it's like I'm in love and I don't have to question it, and it feels so different than all the other times that I said that I was in love, just because this felt like a full version of what I had been looking for, as opposed to chasing things that was like 40% of that.
Right.
Or 50% of that.
Chasing the full thing, it was like the full perspective.
You get the whole perspective of the whole thing. And it's eye-opening. It's just a completely different thing, and it's phenomenal. I love it.
Well, I would have to say, seeing your growth and everything that you've done, I would say coming this far with the perspective that you have on your relationship, he or she is happy to have you. They're blessed. They are blessed to have you in their life, Richard, and you are a blessing. Okay,
there's nothing wrong with either one.
She tell you that.
There's nothing wrong with either one, but in my particular case, it is a she. But anyway,
don't let he or she deter you from that.
But I mean, I think the same thing happened to you. Really, that's the healthiest place to come from a relationship, when you want a relationship for the right reasons and not for some superficial reason, not because it's cuffing season, not because it's going to be cold outside, not for any of those reasons. You find someone that meets and matches your energy, and it's just a different kind of feeling.
It's beautiful because, I mean, energies, and like I said, I know a lot of people say, energies. Some people don't believe in the idea of energies, but I mean, the whole concept of human life, we are energies. We are balls of energy. So when you meet someone that fits into that like a comb, almost like two combs that are made like fingers interlocking, like fingers but not fingers, combs. Okay, when they link, it's perfection.
Yeah,
it is perfection. And it was funny. I was watching a movie because the idea of relationships, you think about like what is actually perfection, right? Like what is perfection? What is that? And then what the movie was, dude was like, well, perfection is not, when you add something, is when you no longer feel like you can take anything away. Like that's perfection. Everything that's there, you're not taking anything away. You don't need to add anything. You're just not taking anything away. That's perfection. I was like, dang, but that's a concept. Because, it's like, that's basically like saying, like, I don't want to change anything. I love it the way it is.
Right.
Period. And I think that's a view or a perspective, if you will, of perfection. If, in a relationship, just feeling that vibe, feeling everything meets your qualities and meets your qualifications.
I mean, another thing that it's something that I always realized, but it's something that really got reinforced. And, the last year of dating was that I'm not perfect. And you don't have to be perfect.
For sure.
Thank you. You don't have to be perfect in order to be perfect for somebody. The person that you meet is not going to be perfect because nobody's perfect. But you're trying to find a perfect person that's perfect for you.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Hey, but you're perfect for that. You said it. You said it after
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The J. Cole song. Okay.
I can't believe I agreed to do this again. I'm just I can't believe I don't know. It's actually my idea anyway. I can't believe I had this.
It was your idea?
Had this idea to do the Rick and Namon show.
Really? It was your idea?
Oh man. We're gonna change this title to the Rick and the awesome. I don't know. I feel like I need a better name. I'm getting off topic.
Your name is naming.
It's the DJ Blue. DJ Blue, Desert Storm.
So, wrapping it all up, the first person that you should fall in love with, really, honestly, all jokes aside, is yourself. You need to love who you are. You need to not only love who you are, but accept who you are.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing to really accept who you are.
That's hard.
It is.
Like, that's hard. And I think, like, for me, I've been blessed with again, I use that word perspective. I've been blessed because I feel like I've reached a point where I accept myself, I love myself, and I'm comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
No matter what, I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm comfortable with who I plan to be, and I'm not afraid of anybody's value of me.
Yes.
Like that's just how I feel.
And it's important because if you're insecure about yourself and you don't know who you are, when you get in a relationship, sometimes you will let the relationship define who you are.
Yes.
And then it'll end up changing who you are.
Toxic.
Yeah, that's never a good thing. You remember it was a movie where it had Julia Roberts in it. She was like I think it was Runaway Bride. And she had been like engaged and getting ready to get married like 27 times or something crazy like that. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it was she never knew who she was. So whenever she would get with a new guy, like she would like her eggs the style of whoever she was dating's eggs. And she never knew what she liked on her own. And it wasn't,
that's crazy, man.
She never got married until she had to take some time to herself, learn herself, know who she was, and then see who she really loved. Because she has spent so much time trying to conform to what other people wanted that she didn't know who she was.
That movie for me, like I have to watch that movie again, to be quite honest.
It's been a while. That's like a 90s movie.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's a valid point. I mean, most people do pick up the things that they have in the relationship and they take it as their own, and then once that person leaves, they're nothing. Like you're nothing because you had nothing when you were in that relationship.
Yeah, you just were being what that person wanted you to be, and then now that that person isn't there to fulfill you and to tell, like, to direct what they want you to be, then you're not sure of who you are anymore.
Oh man, that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, truly.
that's a rabbit hole.
It is. I mean, but I think that if I was gonna leave everybody with anything, the thing is that I say, like, love yourself. Be comfortable with yourself, and like it's a quote that says, if you know your worth, nobody can show you short. If you know how much you're worth, then you won't let anybody sell you short because you know what you're worth. So know what you're worth, love yourself, be kind to yourself, and don't think that somebody else is gonna make you whole, because you need to be whole on your own before you can be a partner or a good partner to someone else.
Facts, Richard. Good job, man.
Thank you, man.
Wow. It was almost like you've been doing this.
I know, right? You know, who would have thought?
I honestly like. I mean, I know I haven't heard, literally any of your episodes, but geez, very eloquent. You're like a Jerry Springer of podcasting.
Wow.
With your
Jerry,
thoughts,
okay.
your final thoughts. I like that.
Okay, all right.
Like I feel like you should be like wearing a suit with like a red bow tie or something like that, like Pee Wee Herman.
Oh,
because I like Pee Wee Herman.
That's a bit of a difference, but yeah,
it went totally left side. You didn't even think it was going.
I didn't think it was going that way.
100%.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. To be a part of the conversation, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, not so much Twitter, but we're there at Rick and Namon. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on your favorite podcasting app. You can find Namon. Where can they find you at, Namon?
It's the same. It ain't never changed. Ain't nothing, new but the name on the game. I am the DJ Blue. Twitter, Instagram, Pornhub. Just kidding. Don't go to porn. That's not on there.
Oh my goodness.
No, just kidding. Not on Pornhub, ladies and gentlemen. Not on Pornhub.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I am the DJ Blue everywhere else. I gotta look that up, make sure I'm not on there. I am the DJ Blue everywhere else. And yeah, that's it.
What are you working on right now? What are you working on outside of this right now?
I don't know. They gotta listen to the next episode. I'm not about to give it up, man. You telling people you in love. I can't even tell them I'm working on some big things. I got some projects popping, but you gotta listen to the other episodes.
I guess y'all gonna have to listen to the next episode too.
They're gonna have to wait. They're gonna have to wait until we post them, because I'm telling you, what they see next, they're gonna be like, what? Oh my God. They're gonna say something just like that. I guarantee it.
Well, you can find me at Doddism, and that's DODDSISM. And I have another podcast that is called Still Talking Black, where I talk about different issues from the perspective of minorities, which is often an underserved platform. So you can check me out there. But until next time, boys and girls, remember,
there's always the next time.
Relationship Talks with Rick and Namon is a Crown Culture Media LLC production. It is produced by me, Richard Dodds, and our theme music is by the DJ Blue.